What's going on, friends and family? Thank you for tuning in on My Thoughts Uncut. I am your host, Terrence Manning. Today, we're going to talk about the libs going crazy over the White House ballroom. Yes, people, they're going crazy over renovations of the White House ballroom. Let's see what they have to say.
The chairs, the risers, they sink into the ground. Women's shoes do. That's a very legitimate concern. But I think the paving over it, I could see somebody later actually deciding that they want to change that.
So the president also last week unveiled plans to build a triumphal arch, which some are calling the Arc de Trump, across from the Lincoln Memorial. I mean, how far do you think he's going to push this remaking of Washington, D.C.?
I think he's going to push it quite far. I mean, listen, from the Kennedy Center becoming practically the Trump Center with his board of directors, him hosting events there, I think he wants to leave his mark on Washington. There is a comfort level that Trump has in the second term that he did not have in the first term. It was a lot of learning the building, learning the machinations of government, and now it's he wants to leave his mark on history. So I expect you're going to see even more of this.
You were in the White House, just very quickly.
Legendary.
How much did you talk about building stuff when he was there?
The ballroom was a real concern because it is tough when you want to do something large. You can have to expand to the outside or open up doors. There isn't something that can really fit if you want 300, 400 people. So this was a long-term concern. The Rose Garden as well, I didn't think he was going to go full concrete. I thought maybe like some lattices, something a little, I don't know, more gardeny.
You can play Foursquare out there, even Nine Square, if you have enough chalk. Elizabeth Farrah Griffin, great to see you tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The current renderings of the privately funded ballroom are very much a reflection of Trump's style. Golden crystal chandeliers, gilded Corinthian
That's gonna look
columns,
beautiful.
gold floor lamps, checkered marble floor. The president lauded the $200-some million project today as he was hosting LSU and the LSU Shreveport championship baseball teams at the White House.
We're building a ballroom. They've wanted a ballroom for 150 years, and I'm giving that honor to this wonderful place. We'll have the most beautiful ballroom in the country, so you'll have drinks, cocktails, everything on this floor. And then they'll say, welcome to dinner. You walk into the ballroom, Mr. Senators, and you're going to see a ballroom the likes of which I don't think it'll be topped.
So this ballroom is not just going to be for Trump. It's going to be for every other president that takes term, Republican or Democrat. Why are they complaining about this? Because it's Trump.
My political sources are joining me tonight, CNN political commentators Karen Finney and Scott Jennings. And Scott, obviously the president said today that he thinks every president has dreamt about having a ballroom at the White House. I'm not sure that's totally true, but he has wanted one since Obama was in office. There was a word at the time that he wanted to help spearhead building one back then. I wonder what you make of this.
Well, it's certainly Donald Trump. I mean, he is all about hospitality. That's his business. And this is going to give us a place in the White House to do the biggest and best hospitality we've ever done. I will say, I don't think it's super unusual for the White House to undergo massive construction projects. I mean, all the way back to Thomas Jefferson putting in the colonnades, or Theodore Roosevelt putting in the West Wing, or FDR putting in the East Wing, and Nixon putting in the press briefing room over top the swimming pool. The fence going up, Clinton closing Pennsylvania Avenue. I mean, you go on and on and on. The White House is typically under construction, either in small ways or in large ways. The most significant cosmetic reconstruction was probably Harry Truman when they gutted the White House, but he also, you'll remember, added the Truman balcony, which changed the image of the south side of the White House. So I think this is another in a long line of improvements. It's a historic building, but it's a living building, and it's reflective of...
Yeah, Theodore Roosevelt, and Teddy Roosevelt also renovated the White House.
The people who live there, and I think future presidents will enjoy having a space where, you could have all the senators or heads of state, or, frankly, It's a public space. They'll be able to put more people than ever inside the White House. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Trumans actually had to live in the presidential guest house, the Blair House, for some time. But that was because, I mean, the White House was kind of unlivable. Like, it was unstable to the point where they shouldn't be living there at that point. But Karen, what are your thoughts?
Well, as I mentioned on this program a couple weeks ago, I think it's fairly grotesque to begin construction, just the optics of beginning construction on a grand ballroom at a time when the government is shut down. Inflation is still high. Costs are still high. We saw new economic indicators coming out today actually showing that middle and lower income Americans are falling behind in car payments, which is an early indicator. So I think it's, even if you believe that this was a good idea, I would say the timing is horrible. And look, personally, it was a little shocking to see those images, having worked in the White House. I mean, there's so much beauty and history in the East Wing. So it's sad to see that, that huge hole there. And I would just mention that some of the other things, the changes that Scott mentioned, those were additions. This is a subtraction, I guess, in an addition, but it really changes, I think, in many ways, what the people's house is supposed to be.
This lady doesn't even know what to say. She's trying to think of negative things to say. She said, this is a subtraction. Well, in addition to, but still, what? Look at Scott's face when she says it.
Which is another thing, the changes that Scott mentioned, those were additions. This is a subtraction, I guess, in an addition, but it really changes, I think, in many ways, what the people's house is supposed to be about, which is not necessarily a grand ballroom with crystal chandeliers, but it's about, the American people. So again, I just also think the construction time.
This lady, she just doesn't want to admit it's a great idea. It's needed. This is the White House. They should have the most extravagant ballroom in the world. It shouldn't be no rinky dink. Obama had to have it outside in a tent, a big tent, when he had his guests come over. This is ridiculous. We're going to go to Mr. Hakeem Jeffries, who also complained about this ballroom and also lied, just like the lady lied.
Donald Trump is once again preparing to fly out of the country. The East Wing of the White House is being demolished.
He's flying out the country to conduct business as a president. What? He's not going on vacation.
So that Donald Trump can construct a ballroom where he will be celebrated like a king. And at the same time, Trump is trying to rob taxpayers of $230 million.
You see, this is the lies that they tell. What's going on is it's privately funded. No taxpayer dollars. So he's building it, private funds. These people will lie in front of your face because they have no other things to complain about. They have no policies to go by. All they do is Trump, 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 Trump. They have Trump derangement syndrome. He just lied. He knows that this is privately funded and it's not going to pay any amount of money towards our taxes.
Continue to line his pockets. And yet Republicans have zero interest, none, in addressing the healthcare crisis that they've created is devastating people all across the country.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to say. He's winging it. Not this thing, he's winging it at this time. These guys don't know what they're doing. We'll take one more look, and this is from Whoopi Goldberg in The View.
So this will also be decided. This is the part that really tickles me. It's going to be decided by some of the same Justice Department lawyers who worked with him on these past cases. So Americans, the question is, are you on board with all of this? This is like a cash grab. Yeah. And your taxes are probably...
You see the headline, Trump seeking payout from his own Justice Department. No, it's privately funded. This is the lies that they do all the time.
Going to be paying for that.
Saying just BS all the time.
That ballroom. I mean, it's kind of kooky.
She don't know what she's saying. And it's funny because these guys all complain about, they were complaining about a ballroom. A ballroom. That goes to show that they don't have anything else to complain about, because what they used to complain about when he was running for president and right when he became president was, Oh, the border's unsafe. How's he going to do that? Prices of eggs and gas, women's rights, which women still have their rights. Nothing was taken away. The stock markets, oh, the stock is going to crash, tariffs. And then remember when Biden claimed that he couldn't do anything about securing the border because it would take an act of Congress. Trump got into the White House, and within a month, like that, the border was secured. Which, what I'm telling you is they lie to you and they fearmonger you all the time. That is what the Democratic Party does. They don't have any kind of solutions, any kind of policies, anything to help the American people. All they do is say things to make us divisive. That's what they do. That's what they've always done. The fear mongering needs to stop. People are starting to wake up, and I'm not going to stop until we're all woke. And I don't mean the kind of woke that they do. I mean the Matrix red pill woke. I hope you guys like what you saw. Comment, subscribe, like, hit that notification button for the YouTube algorithm. I'll see you next time. Peace.